I am going to be your host tonight on this amazing Share Your Soul episode. I am going to go ahead and get started here. All right. So, who are we? We are Solle Naturals. We are a new class of supplements designed for both the mind and the body. 100% plant-based adaptogenic herbs. Solle Naturals formulas are complex yet used in simple, sometimes even personal programs. Solle is absolutely next level amazing, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear a little bit more. We are going to go ahead and kick this off with a great testimony tonight. We are going to hear from Miss Kristen Brunius, and she's going to let us know a little bit about how Solle is changing her life.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Kristen Brunius. I'm from Indiana, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm finally able to enjoy summer. So I was talking with some of you guys about the turning point for me was when I noticed that my son kept asking me, Mommy, when are you going to go take a nap? And I would kind of look at him and be like, what do you mean, buddy? But then I was reflecting on summers in the past, and our summers usually went wake up, do a few activities, be home by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Mommy would nap for a little bit, and then we'd go on into our evenings. And so my kids were asking me, oh, Mommy, when are you going to take a nap, Mommy? And that's when I kind of started to realize that my summers had changed. On top of that, I remember that there would be many days over the summer where I would just experience massive anxiety. I remember one time in particular, I was driving to the park with my kids. It was a beautiful day. We used to do these things called destination unknowns, where I would tell them, get in the car, get dressed for whatever, and I wouldn't tell them where we were going. In this case, we were going to a park about a half hour away. And I remember having a panic attack in the car and calling my husband, and he was like, well, what's wrong? And I said, I don't know. The weather's perfect. The sky is blue. The kids are excited. It's perfect. And I'm not okay. I had to pull the car over. And so I was reflecting on that with this summer and how much my life has changed. And then also just thinking about the transition and how I've become much more adaptable. So I remember in the past, the first 2 weeks of summer was kind of my transition time, where it took my brain and my body a little bit to catch up to the fact it was summertime, and my whole body had to adjust to that transition. And it would almost take me like 2 weeks from the time when the kids were in school, and that was our transition, or that was our schedule, to the summer schedule. And then I would struggle again when school started, going back into that routine. And, you know, I've learned to be a lot more adaptable through our adaptogens. I feel like now I'm much more calm, relaxed, and I'm able to enjoy summer. And in fact, the last 2 weeks were really out of my comfort zone. We had some of you guys, 2 families from Solle, who came and stayed with us, one over 4th of July long weekend, and then one this past weekend. And any of you guys who know me, that's very out of my comfort zone. I like my alone time. I get overwhelmed, or I used to get overwhelmed. I would worry about things like, am I going to have enough energy? What if I get anxious? What if I this? What if my house isn't clean enough? Any of that kind of stuff. And I had the best time ever, and I'm pretty amazed at myself in the progress I've made. So Deacon has stopped asking me, Mommy, when you're going to take a nap, which I can only chalk up to Solle and the products that I've been taking and the program that I'm on. And I'm finally able to enjoy summer, and I'm so thankful for that.
Kristen, that is awesome. And destination unknowns, like, how cool of a mom are you? And I'm just like almost emotional that like now you can truly sit there and enjoy those destinations unknown, that you're not anxious about what's going on. You're just focused and you're able to really enjoy. Goosebumps. That is truly amazing. So I hope everybody has a pen and some paper. If you don't, I'm going to encourage you to grab some right now, because we have the honor of hearing from Miss Valerie Bledsoe tonight, and she's going to talk a little bit about the foundational approach. Valerie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I look forward to speaking and talking about the foundational approach is something that is near and dear to my heart. So hopefully you will help me out by advancing the slides for me, my dear. All right. So one of the things that I often get, and when people present to me, they're going to come in, they're going to say, oh, I'm coming in because I have a headache, and they're really focused. I want you to address my headache and fix my headache. Well, you know what? They're looking at the symptom. I am looking at what might be causing the symptom, because yeah, we can offer symptomatic relief, but really we're in the business of offering long-term relief. And so what does that look like? So next slide, please. So for me, I like to, well, actually this explains it pretty well. When we're taking a foundational approach, we're looking at that whole body, or what are the root causes of an issue, whereas the symptomatic is looking for that quick fix or Band-Aid. An example would be, again, with that headache, is that person going to just step in and take something for that pain? And yes, they can do that herbally. They could do that with some plants that are known to alleviate pain issues. But again, like I was saying, I'm looking at the root cause. And so next slide, please. I like to use the example of a tree. So the part of the tree that we see is going to be the trunk. It's going to be the limbs. It's going to be the leaves. That is the expression of the health of the tree. If our tree has got beautiful green leaves, strong limbs, a nice, good, strong trunk, it can endure out here the Kansas wind or the heat as it is today, 106 or whatever it is, and we have dry wind, all that. And it's being able to weather the storm, so to speak. I know it has a good foundation. What does that mean when it comes to the tree? That means it's got good root distribution. As you see for a tree, roots should actually equal the canopy of the tree that's up above. That allows them to stay intact and attached, but it also means that they have the ability to pull up from all over the different nutrients that they need. Now, when we look at it, when it comes to a person and their health, let's look at the leaves as the expression of a dis-ease. Is it a diagnosis that a doctor has given them? Is it their symptom that they're presenting with that headache? Is it that they get exhausted? So we may have one branch of that tree or their health that's got not good expression. It's got the dead leaves, or it's really withered branch, or that limb is just kind of hanging off at the side because it got snapped. So when I look at the foundation, I'm looking at, is this person, how is their stress level going? Do they have any toxins going on? Are they getting the nutrition that they need? Are they getting the water they need? And when you come in and address the missing element or support it as a whole, like we do with the adaptogens, then it comes up through the whole root system. It comes up through the tree trunk, then it moves out to the limbs and then to the leaves. So you're fixing it from the bottom up or the inside out to help the body to heal. The next slide has a picture, and I love to use this as a teaching visual for people. And I'm going to give you a little scenario here. Let's say you've taken your daughter out. She's learned how to drive. She's all excited now, and she's going out for her first time borrowing the family car. And she's out driving, and she sees the oil light come on, and she's just like, oh my goodness, there's the oil light. Well, wait a minute, let me dig. And she digs through her purse, and she pulls out a Band-Aid, opens it up and puts it over the oil light. She comes home and she says, Mom, Dad, you are going to be so proud of me. That oil light came on, but I fixed it. I put a Band-Aid over it. You cannot see it anymore. Did she actually fix the issue? No, not at all. She didn't put what was needed in the system, which in this case was oil. Well, the same type of thing whenever we'll go back to the expression of the headache. Could it actually be that they have underlying issues with their bowel? Could it actually be, again, like I said, those issues with maybe not drinking enough water? Wouldn't it be better if we actually got in and addressed the root of the issue so that we have long-term results? And let's just move this other little story a little bit further forward. Let's say that the girl kept driving. And so and this is being showed right here. And then she's like, oh my goodness, I do not know why my engine just seized and blew up. And then the mechanic comes and he pulls off the band and goes, here's the issue. You never fixed what was really going on. So when you get these symptoms, it is your body talking to you. It is saying you have an issue, but it's not saying just look at that issue and make that issue disappear. Look at the body as a whole. What else could be contributing to it? Adaptogens are so phenomenal at addressing root issues. And they are so, I've heard it referenced as them being smart herbs because they know whether to scale up the activity of an organ or a body system or to scale it down. And we don't have to be smart enough up here to know what to do and go, I need adaptable 10.0 because my thyroid is overactive. But if it's underactive, I need adaptable 9.9. No, we can use adaptable regardless, and it helps to fix the issue. That is the beauty when you have these products that every one of them are designed to go towards a foundation. And foundational approach is where it's at, and that is where you're going to get long-term results. And next slide. And so we have made a pointed effort to make certain that every product has got an adaptogen in it. Why? Because we're human. We've already been conditioned to want results and want them now. We also are complex organisms. Our bodies are designed incredible. They're designed with an intelligence that knows how to heal. They're designed to interact just phenomenally, as we've seen for 10 years at this point, when you hand them adaptogens. I am of the strong belief that the body gets absolutely ecstatic when we hand it these adaptogenic formulas, because it's like, yes, finally, they didn't put a Band-Aid over my issue. Adaptogens. That foundational approach makes all the difference and helps you level up your life. And let's see, is there another slide after that? I'm not certain. Yep. And so just a couple of quick tips here. When you're actually working for a foundational approach, you didn't get this way overnight, barring an unexpected accident or something like that. So what I teach and what we teach in the alternative health community is, because you didn't get that way overnight, you're not going to get healed overnight. Does that mean you won't feel results? Absolutely not. We all know that the Solle products bring results, and sometimes it's amazingly fast. But we look at an initial 3 months and then an additional month for each year that you've been dealing with the issue. And that, again, is not till you start feeling better. That's to actually work on resolving the issue and refilling your health account, because most people are living on borrowed time out of their health account. They've been getting overdraft notices for a very long time without putting anything back in. And so the goal by filling up that health account is so that you can ride and weather the storms that come with life. And the neat thing is, no matter which Solle program you choose to address your health issue, we've already designed these formulas to start addressing the underlying and foundational issues. And therefore, with consistency, and as in the military, time and grade, you will get results. So adaptogens, I can't say it any better. It equals a beautifully balanced life, or a life well lived and potential to be well lived. So I hope that everyone is being able to starting to benefit that and sharing that benefit with others, because I am a big believer that we have a responsibility to pay it forward. When we learn something, even the smallest thing, and we have that opportunity to share it and help someone else live a better life, that to me is what it's about.
Goodness, crazy. It's going crazy. Sorry, Valerie. Thank you so much for that. I take notes from you every time I hear you speak. I've already got like a whole page over here. And it's so amazing when you truly do address the root of the problem, how all the other things just fall into place. And I think that is my most favorite thing about these adaptogens. It's made such a difference in so many lives. And I wanted to remind everyone who's watching tonight, if you have not chatted in, let us know your name, where you're from, if you are a guest or a member or a specialist. And while you're doing that, we are going to hear from Ms. Tammy Peterson, and we are going to hear her soul story.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
Sarah, there's no sound.
There's no sound at all.
No.
It had sound at first, but when you adjusted it, it went away.
All right, let's see if we can start it over. Now it's frozen. Technical difficulties. Okay, let's try again.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Val, for asking me to give my experience. I will just say that the summertime in Texas is super.
Sarah, I think there might be a tough technical difficulty with the video itself. Looks like we lost her sound part of the way through. So let's go ahead and skip past that one.
So sorry about that, everyone. We all know the internet would benefit greatly from some adaptogens. We just haven't figured out how to get it in them yet. So in the meantime, I am very excited to announce our president and founder, Mr. Greg Halliday. He's going to come on and share with us. And Greg, let me find you here and stop the share so we can, here we are. All right, Greg. Yes.
Hello, how you doing, Sarah?
I am great tonight. How are you doing?
Wonderful. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm always honored and excited to share a little bit with you this evening and to learn. I'm like you, Sarah. I like to learn from all the presentations, and I always learn from Valerie. Valerie, I have known for, we're not going to say how many years we've known each other, because then you can do math. But yes, I still learn just as much today as I did when I first started hearing her. I do know Tammy Peterson's story too, even though we didn't get to hear that, because I've been in a few meetings with her and she's heard it. I'm sure she probably added some new. It's funny because it's ongoing for all of us, right? So we always get a few new things. But I will say this: the thing that I was asked to talk about, looking at SolleVital in the summertime, particularly hydration, it plays a role in Tammy's story too. And a lot of people don't know this, but SolleVital is awesome with allergies. I noticed her title was Allergies Be Gone. And there are a lot of reasons it is. You've got these wonderful adaptogenic plants. And having had a big issue with that myself, and I honestly have to always take care of myself. If I just, sort of go, I can tell you what will change it. But if I told you the things that I eat, then you're going to know what I sometimes eat. Oh, that's okay. Like if I eat too much sugar, and I actually don't eat that much sugar, that's what's funny. But if I do, if I get into, too much sugar, allergies ramp up, soda, any of those carbonated drinks. I can give you a list, things that cause acid for me, they ramp up allergies. And some of the herbs in Vital, particularly the herbs that help us with hydration, believe it or not, this stinging nettle. Whenever I bring it up, people are like, what? If they're newer to herbs, stinging nettle, yes. Nettle is incredibly nutritious. And it's this wonderful balancer and modulator of our histamines. Some people call it an antihistamine, and I honestly don't call it that, but this is just, I'm just giving you my, my own sort of description, because to me, the chemical or an synthetic one forces your body a certain way, blocks responses, and plants don't do that. They have compounds like Valerie said, the body goes, thank you. And even though nettle itself may not be an adaptogen, it works really well with adaptogens. That's what we learned. And that it's two different forms of it are in the SolleVital. Most people did not know that. Yes, we have nettle as part of our prime chlorophyll blend. And that's another blend of plants that helps us with hydration as well. And then we have another form of nettle in our minerals, in our high mineral blend, because it's easy to drink ultra filtered waters. Another whole subject, you ought to ask Valerie to talk on it sometime, and not hydrate. Hydration is about more than H2O, right? And so minerals, it's one thing we learned many years ago. Man, if you want to talk about the roots and affecting everything, so that all the different areas, if you got some leaves that are a little yellow and some branches that are a little weak, minerals ignite all of it. In fact, one of my favorite quotes is from, is it Phyllis Balk? I'm trying to think. She talks about minerals and cellular communication. You improve minerals, you bring more minerals in, and cells can communicate. When they can communicate, they're pretty amazing. Back to Valerie's comment. Our bodies are quite amazing. If they get enough of the right nutrients, if they get the things they lack, and if they get them in the right form, minerals from plants are the right form. The body can use them easily. Minerals that we sometimes find in, I'm not going to criticize any kind of drink, but you can find popular mineral sources that are just loaded with quantities of minerals, not plant sourced. You need to ask yourself how much of that you absorb and how much goes through you. With plants, I know this, the body's incredibly efficient in using them. And with a little, it does a lot. And that's the way Vital is. If you were to measure the quantities of minerals, they're trace minerals. They are in trace amounts. So tell me why the evidences, the leaves on the tree getting greener, why do they show so much better than drinking, gallons of other mineral? Because I can tell you, having done marathons, a lot of marathons, I think I'm somewhere around 20 or 30, I guess. That's not as many as some people, but that's a lot for me, who was not ever a marathoner. I did not grow up. I was a short distance and different types of physical activities, not distance. I was over 40 when I got tucked into it, just to put it that way. So I drank a lot of those because they told me to, and they upset my stomach. I found myself still thirsty, and all these evidences of hydration. Now that I'm getting, let's say I can hit 60 with a rock if I throw it. I've noticed, for instance, your hair color, when you're getting enough minerals, it stays, less gray hairs. That's a real thing with me. I'm not just saying that because I can watch it if I stay away. So for me, Vital, I drink 2 vitals a day. Now, it's not because I have a mathematic formula. It's because it's the first thing I drink when I get up. That's how I hydrate, because I know I've got all those chlorophylls, I've got all those adaptogens, and I've got all those high mineral herbs that also nourish lungs, heart, kidneys, and these different vital organs that need to stay in balance, that are our roots, so to speak, so that all the issues get addressed, not just the one that's bugging me right now. So vital, that's why we named it SolleVital, because we have, I don't know, we think we're punny. It's so vital. But that really is true. These are components that are vital every day. The bank account Valerie talked about, that health equity account, that's what it was. It needs plant chlorophylls. It needs those greens. It needs the minerals. It craves adaptogens. And even if the taste is new to you a little, that's where the bitter comes from, you know. That's why you know it's these minerals and other wonderful compounds give that little teeny bitter tinge. And then over time, if you kind of get yourself to make it part of your habit, you find yourself craving it. I don't know how many, you could chat it. You could chat it. How many of you didn't like it at the start, and now you're like, why do I want this? And I feel better after I drink it. It's healthy. Nothing's added, nothing artificial, nothing that's harmful. And the plant materials in it, they're actually concentrated extracts. That's the difference. They're not just raw powders, dried plants ground up. They're actually more than that. They give you better levels. So Vital is always part of my little Camelback bottle. If I get on my bike and I like to ride through the mountains around here, if I run, I drink it before. I usually feel like another one in the afternoon. I just drink it when I feel like it. I just listen to my body, and that's when I give it Vital. But so hydration to me, it is about several things in Vital. In fact, I would say all 3 of the ingredient groups, the chlorophylls, the minerals, and the adaptogens. And if you look at the box, I think we're just about exhausting the current inventory, so that you'll start to see the new brand forward Vital, which comes with this little, man, I think these are such pretty boxes. They did such a good job, didn't they? This is just your normal size. And then if you open it up, you know, you've got this, now you'll be able to get to a website with video and information and testimonials and all this wonderful stuff. And what does it say? I don't know if you can read that in there. I'm going to read it. You are what you eat, but what you drink is vital. I don't know, Valerie, we all have our opinion. I'm going to say 80% of that is proper hydration, or 80% of why we say that is hydration. Things that do well in liquid form that come into us and are part of hydration. And this little belly band right here on the back of it, it has 3 things, right? Hey, that actually shows pretty well, huh? Protect your core, enliven your body, and energize your mood. So when we talk hydration, enliven your body, it's that area. Now, I know you could say it's all 3, right? It's all 3 because it's roots. But when, at least what we were thinking as we developed this part of minerals, proper minerals, a wide variety of, not just a couple of them that, you know, that people think, oh, those are the hydration minerals. A wide variety of them in a plant source from a variety of plants, because frankly, we don't know everything. They act a little differently in us in one plant than they do in another. Even though they cover the same needs, they bring, what I mean by act differently is they bring other bonuses to that health account that all interact. And so protect your core and enliven your body. Those are big parts of SolleVital and hydration. And that's probably more than the time I had, huh, Sarah? You probably had a slide for me too, didn't you?
You know, Greg, I can just listen to you talk about it all day long, though, because it's so, when I hear your passion, it just gets me even more fired up that we are so honored to have Solle Naturals in our life, and we are able to share this amazing product like SolleVital, because it changes so many people's lives. It's pretty amazing, Greg.
It's the top of the pyramid for game changers for me. Super selfish there.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Greg, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now we get the pleasure of hearing from Miss Diane Mickelson. She is going to share her story with us. Let me find her here, make sure she can unmute. Can you unmute yourself, Diane?
Yep.
Awesome.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. So I'm super nervous. I don't know why. Anyways, my story really started about 20 years ago when I started really abusing my body and working. We own a restaurant, so I work like 12-hour days. And besides that, I didn't think I was busy enough. So I started teaching fitness classes and I started doing custom cakes and this and this and this. And so fast forward 20 years of doing all of that, sleeping never and eating nothing and living on sugar. About 4 years ago, I really started to feel like horrible. And so I just kind of ignored it, did a few things to help with the symptoms. And then, just kind of kept getting worse and worse. And I started going down this tunnel of depression and anxiety, which I had never had anxiety before. And just really feeling horrible and getting worse and worse. The body aches and just everything out of whack. And so I finally was like, I've got to figure out what's going on. I went to the doctor about a year ago and did some blood work, and she diagnoses me with adrenal fatigue, poor gut health, and Hashimoto's. And she says, we don't know if you have Hashimoto's because of these or if you have these things because of your Hashimoto's. So she says, and I love that she's a holistic doctor. So she says, let's try, healing the gut first and working on your adrenal fatigue and see if we can't change this. So I started on the Bella program, which for those of you that don't know is, I just drew a blank. That's another thing. I have high markers for, it's gone, that brain fog. And anyways, so it says if I don't change my ways, it's not going to be good by the time I'm 60. It's going to be really bad. So I started on Vital, Cinnamate, the probiotic, and Vertizymes. And that's the Bella. And you do it by the protocol. And within about 3 to 4 months, and I stopped eating sugar, started drinking more water, and I started putting myself on a bedtime, because before I would be up till midnight, 1, 2, 5 in the morning. Like I just never slept. So I put myself on a bedtime, and then I went back a year later. I did that protocol with some other herbs too. But for that whole year, I never missed a day, no sugar, sleeping at least 8 hours. And when I went back in February, she took away the Hashimoto's diagnosis. She says, you still have some thyroid issues, but your gut health has improved a lot. Your adrenal exhaustion, your adrenal fatigue, that's coming around. So she's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing. And because I had shown her all of the herbs, I said, this is what I have. And she went through them and she goes, oh, these are good. And these are good. And this is good. And this will work on gut health. And so she's like, just do these. And if you have them, then you don't have to buy mine. So I was like, perfect. So I've just used Solle and the Bella program to really turn that around, and some discipline with the no sugar, because soda is so hard for me. But I'm getting there. So now I just go day by day and just keep doing what I'm doing, and I feel better. I'm actually have energy. I actually feel like I want to get out and do things. I didn't say this, but before, when I really, about 4 years ago, started really feeling like crap, I completely quit teaching fitness classes. I really just quit everything. I just had no energy. I was tired. When I went to the doctor, I really thought they were going to tell me I had cancer. That's how bad I felt. And really was shocked when I didn't have cancer. So yeah, I feel good. I want to get out and ride my bike again. I want to get out and exercise and, do all the things that I used to do that I had stopped doing. So you can do it. You just have to persevere and push through and not do the bad things. So that's my story.
Diane, that is amazing. Like, you are living proof that if you take care of yourself from the inside out, you can literally take your life back. You've literally taken your life back by addressing your nutrition. And that just, whoo, I'm so excited for you to see how far you're going to be able to improve things. Like, that's just amazing. That's yay.
I'm excited too.
It's amazing. All right. So I figured, since we have the man himself here, I'd like to ask Greg a question. Greg, what makes Solle's network marketing plan unique?
Oh, you couldn't have asked me a harder question, Sarah, because it's funny, we didn't really look at it that way when we formed it. The way our mindset was, for those maybe who didn't know us, so Solle was founded after about 22 years after I was first introduced to this industry by a good friend. I looked at the industry a little bit narrowly because I didn't know anything about it, but I trusted my friend, so I gave it a chance. And I got to know several different companies. In fact, when I was finishing school, I went to graduate school. That's where, because of my sister, I worked briefly as an internship for a very large network marketing company, and got to see got my eyes opened that there's a right way things could be done, and then there were wrong ways. And I will tell you, over the years, what I have now come to believe, really, I'm going to say, and to know, is that every single industry and every single kind of business and or organization of any kind has really great examples and really poor ones. And not a single one has any corner on integrity or the lack of integrity. Okay, so I just say that because sometimes there's a real reaction to network marketing because it breaks through the walls of traditional business funnels that take people a certain way. And because it's an industry that you choose to achieve in, rather than someone telling you what you're capable of achieving or where you fit, you choose where you fit. You choose what you do with yourself, how much you want to work on yourself, and really how much you want to give to others. So I'll just share 2 or 3 things that I think I hope are always unique with Solle. Number one, we always want our focus to be serving other people. And by serving, we mean helping them find the solutions both to their health and to their ability to ensure their health. That's a financial need that most people do not have the money for, no matter where you live, no matter what type of environment you're in, because adequate health is different than just sort of somebody else's definition of health. Adequate health is, like Valerie said, you're living this really good life. You're thriving in your health. Not right now your markers are good, but I don't feel all that great. That's not health either. So Solle is about that core need for all success in life to be feeling good. And part of feeling good to me is feeling happy. not that everything's smooth, but that the hard stuff is manageable, and there's really frequent happy sprinkled through all the hard stuff. And that's my feeling. So I think one thing that might feel different to people is as they get to know the various mentors in Solle. There's a reason we chose the name mentor and specialist instead of other terms, is I hope that they feel service, and that these are people that will be there for you and will remain there regardless of your choices. So that's one broad thing. Another thing that I would say that's different about Solle is that it is very, very flexible in its structure. I know this can be a challenge to some when they come new, because there are many ways in which you can grow and do very well in Solle. What I mean by that is different approaches that you might take as you build your natural health business in serving other people. And you know something? There are examples of people succeeding in all of them. And so sometimes it's kind of like, well, I just give me one, give me a track, set me on it and give me a push and let me go. There are businesses like that, but I will tell you, those that are the most defined in that way, it has been my experience, they do very often shoot up quickly and people get really excited, and then they quickly double track down the other way. And they quickly decline when certain things go wrong. Or very often, this sounds fairly cynical, but it's not meant to be this way. They change hands. They're bought, purchased, merged, and tweaked. And so sometimes too much structure is very often, I will say, in my experience, too much structure becomes actually quite limiting. But there has to be a balance, right? And so definitely one of Solle's greatest strength, it is a little bit of a challenge because we need to define things the way and find, what's going to work for us and be able to work in it. But that flexibility is not only in our structure, but it's also in the way our pay calculates. I don't know of any other network marketing company that will look at all of the purchases throughout your whole organization, all these people and households that you're helping, and simply sort it every single month, look where most of it falls in clusters, and then apply the highest payouts to the highest activity levels, the highest volumes, thus maximizing your commissions. That's something quite unique. We call it the SMART plan, but honestly, in simple terms, it simply is a way of taking a structure that allows you great flexibility personally and automatically maximize it so that you're actually getting the greatest result, whether you're starting out or whether you're 30 years into it. What we know about businesses, and I apologize, and I'll kind of finish my long explanation, maybe longer than you wanted, is that when you start a network marketing business, it looks very different in years 0 to 5 than years 5 to say 20 and years 20 plus, because the way volumes are found and clustered changes, and things change in society and the way people want to hear and listen. And we know this, right? Adaptogens and adaptable are terms that we believe need to be used on the business side as well. And so what the SMART plan does is it simply just, it shapes itself around whatever is. And that's why even early on, when you compare it, it will maximize that activity better than even a plan built to maximize those first few years, but it's not so good in the later years. And there are plans that are built to not pay as much early on, but they put you out there with, oh, but in time, nothing's better. Well, the SMART plan adjusts at every phase. So that's a long explanation, a kind of explanation, but I hope that the takeaway, I hope that the one thing, maybe if you're newer, that sticks with you is that the way the compensation structure is designed, though you have a lot of flexibility in the way that you'd like to serve others and share and build, you don't need to worry about the way the payment works, because it actually maximizes every different type of activity and takes that worry and that stress out of your head. And that was our thought, is We don't want people stressing that. We don't want them stressing, "Oh, I got to build this where these payouts are the best so that, I cover my time and I'm making enough to help people." We do believe that you've got to make a lot to help a lot. Please never think, if I'm making a lot, somehow I'm taking too much. No, that's in you on how much you're going to give. You do need to make a lot to help a lot. And so the plan is a pretty generous plan. It's meant to be that way because we feel like high service needs to go with high resources. And the resources that you get are through the network marketing plan that lets you then be of the service at whatever level you want. If that's not the time, in your life right now to be at that level, and I'm just going to be part of this and plug in and help a few people, then the plan actually will tailor to that in the way it pays you. So yes, I apologize for so long on the philosophy on that, but I want you to know at least what our thinking is and why we designed it the way we did. It wasn't simply, playing with mathematics and numbers. It's really about why we are structured this way, hoping that the soul experience really could and should be just a positive one, taking away some of the minute stressors. I know it does stress some people because they want to go calculate, but once they get through it and understand, they realize, oh, this really will do that for me, and I don't have to worry about that. And that's our commitment, is to constantly look at it that way and support the flexibility in the way that you would like to help others. So yes, Sarah, I think I took longer on that than the first question.
That's okay, because we truly do have the most amazing network marketing plan, and it is like none I've ever seen in my life. So your explanation, I learned something new, and I've been here for 4 years. So awesome. Thank you. All right. Oh, what in the world just happened? Guys, I'm having issues with this laptop tonight, but don't let that get you down, because I hope while you were talking tonight, you were thinking of people that you might be able to help with Solle. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you think, wow, this could really make a difference. And I hope that you notice the well in the share the wealth. Because guys, if you have it on your heart, there's somebody that that this can help, I really encourage you to reach out to that person and share this with them, because that's what the person who invited you here did. They knew that this could help you, and they were excited to share this with you. And they will go ahead and share a great code with you. You can get $10 off of your purchase. And then when you turn around and share with your friends because you love it so much and you're like, this is amazing stuff, guess what? You're going to give your friend $10 off, and you're going to get $10 off. So that's pretty awesome and amazing. And speaking of awesome and amazing, have you even thought about joining the Solle business? Because if you can see yourself starting your own Solle program, can you see yourself sharing what you're starting with somebody else? As you can see on the slide, we make it real easy and easy as possible to catch the vision of sharing Solle. Join for just $25 and get your $25 back with your first new member. So whether you thought of a friend you want to invite to our next Monday Share Your Solle, or you see yourself starting Solle and sharing it with others, just ask your mentor, who is the person who invited you here, for a little bit more information so we can see what's right for you. And speaking of our next Share Your Solle, next Monday, July 18th, go ahead and text Share Your Solle, just like it's typed there, to 866-256-1970, and you will get a reminder text and the recording after the presentation. So that does conclude our Share Your Solle tonight. Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you have gotten some great information and you've thought of a few people that you're ready to share your Solle with. So, all right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great night. and we will see you next week.